Hi, I'm Dave from Day One RV. Now, the reason that I named this Day One is because of a Matthew West song called Day One, and it's about the first day of the rest of your life. And I was at a point where I needed something different, and I was trapped, and you get to a place where you don't know what you can do and what you can't do, and that health issues try and keep you down. Well, this channel is going to be all about how to overcome those, traveling around in an RV, the things that we've done right, things that I haven't done so right, because, yeah, if you can tell, I'm already sitting in it, but we're going to start from day one. And so this is day one. And all the different things that have gone on in the process. So we're going to talk a little bit about my health issues. I've had 8 surgeries, and I've had 5 knee replacements, a hip replacement. I had MRSA that got involved in my knees, and had to have them taken out and put back in, and that's happened twice. A lot of just strange issues like that, health-wise. Addicted to Oxy for a long period of time. Doctors had me on it forever, and I'm just happy to not be on it right now. And what I can do and what I can't do. And there are a lot of things I can't do. Climbing into the truck's not always the easiest thing. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, yes, I am heavy. I gained a lot of weight during this process. I was in bed for almost a year because they had to take my knees out. I had to be on IV antibiotics. And then they put me back together again, and I had to go through everything all over again. And that happened a number of times. So, yeah, I did gain a lot of weight. So I'm in the process of losing weight. I'm on a diet program. We'll talk about that as we go through this. We'll talk about what I can do and can't do. I did bring a friend along to help. So how that works out and all those kind of things. So there's a lot of that basic kind of stuff. That's background. My background in RVing, I've taken the kids to a ton of different places. I've put probably over 10,000 miles on RVs. Been out west multiple times. I think we did loops out west 3 times. We did Route 66. We followed the St. Lawrence Seaway north. We went down to Florida countless number of times for spring breaks. We used our RV in a way that a lot of people don't. A lot of people just plan them, go out, spend the weekend, and then go home. We didn't do that. We did a lot of fun things, traveled, we saw a lot of things the kids remember and have some of the greatest memories. It was so nice to hear the kids say things like, "Dad, that was the best vacation we've ever had. Glacier was such a cool place. Yellowstone, I loved. Grand Tetons," on and on and on. So there was a lot of things that we did. So I'm not a newbie to this. I had a travel trailer, and I had a Ford Excursion diesel to pull it. And that worked out beautiful for us because I have 5 kids. And to have 7 of us in a truck doesn't work. To have 7 of us in most fifth wheels don't work. So we had to have a travel trailer with bunks and a slide to have enough room for us all. So that's where we were at. Then I went through all the health problems, went through a divorce, moved out on my own, and found myself in a house feeling very trapped. Buying groceries, not being able to bring them in from the car because with crutches and all of the disabilities I had getting up the steps to get in the front door, I couldn't bring stuff in. I ended up eating out of my car because I couldn't bring stuff into the house. And that was just not the greatest thing in the world. So I needed to change the situation. So we're going to talk about the process of purchasing an RV, finding one, and purchasing it. Went to a couple RV shows, and we'll talk about that as we go through this. Selling a Tesla Model X, because that doesn't do so good pulling a fifth wheel. And purchasing a truck. And if you've tried to buy a truck in this day and age, let me tell you what, it's difficult because you can't find one, for one thing. Another, they won't even sell it to you for sticker. So there's a lot of issues buying trucks right now, and we'll talk about that. And the customizations that I've done for the rig to accommodate me and just for comfort. I have made a few customizations to the rig, and I'll show you what all I'm done and would like to do. And moving in, the process of moving in, getting out of the place I'm at, getting rid of the place I'm at, and doing some dry runs. You really should take it on a couple of dry runs just to get used to it, just to understand how it works, and not be too far from home. So if anything bad happens, you can always just go home. So a lot of that kind of stuff. And then heading out with my cats. So yes, I have two cats. They are ragdolls. So any of you guys that have ragdolls know they have big personalities. My big boy, who's about 20 pounds, he is afraid of the truck. So he cries a lot when we travel. Little girl, she's not so bad. She doesn't mind the truck. They both don't mind the RV, and they're right here with me right now. But they do really well. And we'll talk about traveling with cats and all that kind of stuff. We're also going to talk about working from the RV. I still work for a large company. I do IT support, and how I do it, the equipment I have on board, all that kind of stuff that makes it work. And yes, I had to think through that one a lot and try a few options and see what worked, what didn't work. And I've come up with a pretty good solution that's actually worked well for me so far. I talked a little bit about the mistakes and the problems. I've done it all. Oh boy. Some of them have cost me money, some of them, and I'm sure I'm not done yet. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting. Being handicapped and just going from place to place, accessibility at campgrounds. Some of that's interesting. So we're going to talk about how I get around, how it all works, and the help that I do need. We're going to talk about the weight loss thing. Like I said before, I'm using a product. We'll talk about that a bit. And it's worked pretty well. I've lost 40 pounds already. So that happened pretty quickly. And then Thanksgiving and Christmas came along. So we're starting over first of the year. Bringing a friend along to help. That's an interesting thing. The dynamics between two people, the push and pull, the where do we want to go, what works out for everybody, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the dynamics in that will come to light as we move forward. Using a lot of the tools, RV Trip Wizard, things like Boondockers Welcome and Harvest Hosts. A lot of those tools are absolutely amazing. Going to rallies. Grand Design has a rally, and then the Grand Design user groups have them at different states. A lot of the YouTubers have rallies. So we're going to talk about some of that. There's even a campground owned by YouTubers, and we're going to talk about that. So there's a lot of things to go through, a lot of just basic stuff, but we're gonna have a really good time because if you haven't noticed, I'm I'm kind of upfront, open. I'm not hiding anything. Did I high hitch my fifth wheel and drop it onto the truck? Yep. Have bad things happened? Yep. Have good things happened? Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. The kids are I'm dealing with my kids because they're all worried. Dad, are you going to be able to do this? Can you make it? All that kind of stuff. So working through that with the kids has been interesting. But the people that we meet on the road, the people who own the harvest hosts, all that kind of stuff are amazing people. These are just a lot of really good people. A lot of good people on the road. There's a lot of full timers, a lot of people who just go out weekend warrior or a week or two at a time. So we're gonna bump into a little bit of everybody. We're gonna do some drone shots of some of the places. We're gonna take a look at some parks, some things to do in different cities, and we're gonna solve the mystery. Which is better? And I'm sure in the comments, I'll get comments about this. All the Texans like Whataburger. All the Californians like In-N-Out Burger. Honestly, haven't had In-N-Out Burger before. So I don't know. Have had Whataburger. Sure is good. So we're going to talk about some of those kind of things. Some of the restaurants, some of the museums, some of the places to see. And what's good, what's not. Been there, seen them all. So I'm just getting started with this thing. I'd like to bring you guys along. Honestly, with all the issues that I've had, all of the things that I've been through, the changes in my life, it is day one of the rest of my life. And come on along and make it day one of your life too.